yes. Okay, good morning.
Morning.
We're going to be starting our unit 2. I hope you all enjoy that. I want something that when you enter, you should have your microphone on mute. And then every time you want to say something, you just unmute your microphone. Is that okay? Yeah?
Okay.
All right. Or unless you must promise not to make any noises, but sometimes we make so much noise that we don't even remember that other people are connected. I remember there was a student that he was listening. For instance, I might have my dog barking in the background. So there was a student listening to some other classes, and I had like this noise going on all the time. Somebody speaking, and then where is it coming from? So we find it out. Okay, so I hope you like the unit 1. Any problem? Do you like the quiz, the questions?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, was not difficult, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also helped me to understand, first of all, to understand the level of your English. That is very, very good to everyone. So I'm quite happy working with you. And still we have to get better and better. So today, okay, something that I want to say is that usually we're going to have a few class activities, each class. But for class activity, although you can download it on Moodle, and they are marked like a class activity, extra class activity, you will not get a grade for it. So for those who are not attending the Zoom meeting, there's no, unless they do it, we practice while watching the video on YouTube, or it's just like they do it on their own. We just do it together and then we check it together. But they will not affect your final grade, okay? So they're just good. It's just a good practice for you, and could be fun. And also, since it's so, I don't know how you feel, but it's so hard to keep your attention focused for 2 hours, 3 hours on a computer. It's not just like being in class, but it's a lot more interaction in a class. And also there is an atmosphere, while it's so difficult to reproduce the class virtually. And I think that we need to have a few breaks and few like 5 minutes or so to work independently, and to have a break to the attention to watching and listening activity. Okay, so well, today we will do, we will first of all two videos we will watch. Okay, we watch 2 videos, and sorry, one moment. Where is my husband making noises over there? I don't want to disturb you. So one is about the New England colonies. It's just like we now getting back to the origin of the America, okay? So where America hasn't got a very old history, but somehow it's very intense. And it's very, American history is very useful to study in order to better understand today America, how it's like. So we will watch this YouTube video about New England colonies, how they were created. And then one about how the first colonists, what problem they have to face, economic aspect of a life of the first colonies, okay? Both from the point of view of social and economic. Today, we will face an important aspect of New England colonies is the religious aspect, and also why religious was so important, which moved tons of people from Europe to seek a better place, America, where they could profess freely their own religion. Okay, now share screen. Let's see where we're going. I still have Catherine with me, yes? Okay.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Now, early colonies, actually, which is that? Introduction, Salem, this is New England colonies, central, okay. No, no. Where is it? Here it is, so. Then we will go through the life of Benjamin Franklin, who is, he was not considered one of founding fathers of the American Constitution, but somehow he was the man who worked behind it, and he had such an important. Okay, let's see here. Why? Okay, now I'll see. Early colonies. Oh, okay. Now I know what happened. Okay, yes, yeah. So what do you see? Unit 2, early colonies?
Yes.
Okay, good. My slide, okay? We get Massachusetts, Salem, which...
No PowerPoint presentation.
No PowerPoint.
About Moodle.
Okay.
Moodle.
Okay, all right, good. Now you do, yes? I just have to refresh. I have to go into sharing.
Yes.
Are you all familiar with Moodle, with Zoom?
Yes.
So are all the classes that you take are on Zoom?
Yes, on the internet.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, start to, the first time it was kind of like, but it's okay. It's not too bad. Needs time to get used to it. So early colonies here. Okay, this is a funky presentation of how the colonies were created. I say funky because it's like it's a cartoon and so and so. Now what we have to do here is to practice our comprehension, understanding, and also since you're using English as a mean to learn American culture, is not only important to understand, but also is important to fix in your head important concepts. For instance, here there are a few things that have been explained, what kind of colonies they were according to the if they were directly governed by Great Britain or not. So there are a few things that you may just jot down and take a note of it. Or if you don't have time or is there a problem, we can watch it again, okay? Now here I wanted to see if, okay. Now if there is a link, now I bet you don't get What can you see? YouTube? No.
A colony is a place that settled.
No, right? Do you see YouTube?
Yeah. No, we can't see.
Okay. This is a limit. I should write to the people that invented Zoom. So annoying for what I'm doing. I don't know the other instructor that you have. Okay, now you can see, like, yeah, a colony is a place that's settled
Yes. Mm-hmm.
by a group of people outside their home country. So this is a definition of what a colony is, or say a group of people that moved out from their own country and they create a colony somewhere else. Okay, so now I put it a big screen, hopefully. Yes. And smatrit.
By a group of people outside their home country and belongs to or is ruled by that home country. By the mid-1700s, England had set up 13 colonies along the east coast of America. These colonies all had some things in common, but they can be divided into 3 groups that each had a certain way of life. Now, let's start in the Northeast. Look, and you'll see the New England colonies, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts. People came mainly from England for religious freedom to practice their religion the way they need it. But to raise a family and try to feed them can prove to be difficult, and for a few reasons. The soil was rocky, the climate cold. They could barely grow more food than their bellies could hold. So to make money, they whaled and fished, and from all the lumber there, they built ships. And since they needed to trade, Boston became a port city. That's how they got paid. Hey, in New England, they had town meetings in the meeting house. That's where people found seating. The men discussed the issues of the town in the meeting houses where church services went down. Now, religion was a major inspiration, and it was integrated in kids' education. Lastly, for black people living in New England, some lived free, but they were treated different. And even worse, many were enslaved, doing skilled jobs or housework for no pay. I've got something y'all will want to see. Follow me through the 13 colonies. New England, the middle and southern, and each region shared traits you'll discover. Listen, some came for freedom of religion, some came to get money and make a living. Others were forced here to work as slaves. The 13 colonies became 13 states. Now in the middle colonies there are New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. Yeah, they were the most diverse, home to German, French, Irish, Dutch, the work. And it hurts when we mention blacks. Some were free, some were slave laborers breaking their backs. And the climate was more mild, it was wild, the wheat and many grain stockpiled. Plus they had factories supplying the people with paper, textiles, and iron. And big cities like New York and Philly had merchants and artisans of all kinds. Really, Maryland, Virginia, North and South Carolina, and Georgia, southern colonies, where you'll find a climate that's much warmer than up north. And with rich soil, they grew crops of all sorts. So of course, in the southern colonies, plantations were the base of their economy. Large farms where cash crops were produced, like cotton, rice, and tobacco, and they used the labor of African slaves who were taken from their home countries and forced on the plantation. They were beaten and treated as less than human, though the work slaves did kept the economy moving. Slavery was critical to plantation, but the harm it caused wasn't part of the equation. That history cuts deep, but peep, before we skate, 13 colonies became 13 states. Okay, I've got something y'all will want to see. Follow me through the 13 colonies. New England, the middle and southern, and each region shared traits you'll discover. Listen, some came for freedom of religion, some came to get money and make a living. Others were forced here to work as slaves. The 13 colonies became 13 states.
Wasn't it funny?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was clear, right? The 13
Yes,
colonies.
especially on the slaves. That was very.
Yeah, it was good, right? It was a way
$67.
just to see how the new colonies from a different point of view, right? And how black people were integrated or not integrated, everything. But the important point that it makes is that everything, like everything in the world, you studying economics, right, and business. So everything, all the main development in humankind history is all connected mainly to economic aspect. Okay, so that's why, for instance, because in the southern colonies, the weather was milder, and there were big plains, and the soil was not so rocky as in the north, and there were more, they imported more slaves from Africa because they needed labor to work on big plantation. And these few points, they are like the building blocks of a society that is still now. It's still just like the differences between the north, the middle, and like I'm talking about east, northeast states. Okay, still now they are very, very different because of how also geography, weather influence economics and people also living. So now I wanted to get back. What do you see now? Nothing. Ekaterina.
We see a model.
Okay, early colonies?
Yeah, yes, yes.
Okay, good, good. Now, okay. So here in the presentation, we just heard about religious problem, but one aspect that we're going to do it today is just to go through religion and the culture problem in the new colonies, okay, New England colonies, and how it affect the development. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. I'm clicking too many times. So let's click one time. Yes? Do you all have a good internet connection at your home?
Yes.
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 Do you watch it with your phone or on your computer or your
On our phone, maybe.
phone? Yeah, yes. Small. My God, just take good care of your eyes. Why is not opening? Probably it's open already. Let me have a look. Yes. Katerina, I need your help. No, you can go so far because it's just like me struggling with my computer. Okay, that at least is quite intelligent because it won't let me open it again because it's kind of saying like, look, you have that document open. Okay, so we got like early colonies. Okay, right. Who were the first people to reach North America and why they moved? Few questions. I want you to speak.
Northeast.
But we're coming from where?
From Asia.
What?
Sorry?
There were people who were practicing, wanted to practice their religion their own way. There were French, English, Irish, and I believe there was Spain, but I'm not sure.
Yes, the Spaniard people, they went more like in the south.
Yeah, so their economy depended on factories, different wars, and they don't need slave labor.
The middle, okay, yes. So because we, like the video that we watched divided the 13 colonies. That's why we get back to our flag, okay? Just everything is connected, like where they got the stars, okay? The first 13 colonies, and they moved out mainly from England and in Ireland as well. So these are the first one. Also Dutch, also from Netherlands. And
Oh
they
yes, I
moved in
forgot
the
them.
north,
Yes.
and they built up what? What is the main city that in the video was mentioned?
Massachusetts.
Yes, but the capital of Massachusetts is
Boston.
Boston. Yes. So what happened is the people that went in the north, they found the soil, the ground, really harsh, and the winter was really, really cold, and there was a lot of forest. So they used the timber, the wood of the forest to build ship. So they built big shipyards around Boston, and they're using for fishing, okay? Well, the middle were more industrialized, say. And also from the point of view of the social point of view, they were more mixed. They were German, people from Irish, and from Dutch people as well. And the South get more black people imported to work in the field, in the big plantation of the South. So this is the basic, okay? So we get here, Massachusetts at the time of Salem witch trial. The thing is that I missed one video. Sorry. I missed one video. This is it. Okay, we still have to watch one. This is more, is a longer one, and it is more complete. And you will.
We cannot see the video.
Yes, I will show. Well, no, this is not a cartoon. This is more like a serious one. Again, the concept are the same, but they add a few things regarding the social and the religious problem that we will have then to face when we start with the Salem witch trial. Okay, now I now open this video. It's a longer one, so if you don't understand, because here we are practicing, comprehension. If you don't understand, just write down where and what, and we can watch it again, okay? This is longer, it's 4 minutes. Okay, now, Ekaterina, what you watching?
We're watching Lincoln Learning.
Okay, oh good. So, yes, yes, good, okay. Thank you. So I just put it big and I put play, okay?
The New England colonies. The New England colonies were among the first settlements to be established in America. They included the present-day states of New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut. These colonies were all British colonies established as either charter colonies or royal colonies. In a charter colony, a charter was granted to the colonists, which gave them permission to exist and self-govern. In a royal colony, the colonists were controlled directly by the monarchy. Plymouth Bay Colony was the first permanent settlement established in New England. The Pilgrims arrived here in 1620 after a long voyage on the Mayflower. Conditions were harsh in the new colony. Farming was difficult and the weather was often unforgiving. William Bradford, the governor of Plymouth Bay Colony, developed good relations with the Native Americans. They taught the colonists how to farm in the area and what crops would be fruitful. The help of the Native Americans was a huge factor in the success of the colony. The next group of colonists to arrive in the New World were the Puritans. The Puritans were a very religious group of people who were looking to purify the church. They were not able to practice their religion freely under the Church of England, so they left to escape religious persecution. Under the leadership of John Winthrop, the Puritans established the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Life here was centered on religion. The Puritans believed that all aspects of life should revolve around completing God's work. Strict rules were enforced. If you didn't follow Puritan teachings, you would be punished. The Puritans were not tolerant of other religious teachings, which is ironic considering that is the reason that they fled England. Several other colonies branched out from Massachusetts Bay. In 1636, Roger Williams founded the colony of Rhode Island. Williams believed in the separation of church and state. Unlike in the Massachusetts Bay Colony, you could practice religion freely here, even if it wasn't Puritanism. Thomas Hooker established one of the first settlements in Connecticut, known as Hartford. He left the Massachusetts Bay Colony because he didn't agree with the idea that only male landowners who belonged to the Puritan Church could vote. He believed that all males should be able to vote, regardless of religion or property qualifications. Overall, the New England colonies faced many hardships. The thin, rocky soil limited the crops that could be grown by the colonists. The growing seasons were short due to the harsh New England winters. This caused colonists to become subsistence farmers, only growing enough food for their families. Despite the harsh climate and rocky soil, the New England colonies had numerous natural resources available to them. Living in forests provided an abundance of timber. The colonists used the timber to build their homes and to grow their economy. The timber was used in shipbuilding, an important industry in the region. Living along the coast of the Atlantic Ocean, fish and whales became important resources to the colonists. The fishing industry grew and benefited the colonial economies. By 1560, 60% of the fish consumed in England arrived by way of colonial boats. The New England colonies were established by English settlers looking for freedom and new opportunities. Life wasn't easy for these settlers due to harsh climates and thin, rocky soil. They persevered and flourished into colonies with strong economies. Eventually, the New England colonies would play a vital role in the politics of the American colonies, pushing for independence from England.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, now, right, yes. Okay, so let's go through. Do you want to watch it again? Was it like understandable, right? The accent was really good. Yes? Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Of course.
All right.
Yeah.
Quite a few information with are very important. This is kind of like a summary of everything. I put everything there. For instance, the first time we're talking about two kind of colony. Okay, do you remember what kind of colonies they were?
Southern and North colonies.
Well, now here we're talking about the North England. So the North England is like Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Maine, right? All that part. So they're saying that there were two kind from the state point of view, organization, economical and jurisdictional organization of a colony. There were two kind. One was saying a Carter colony, and one was saying a royal colony. Okay, so which is the difference? Which is the one more tied to England, to British?
The royal one.
What?
The royal
The
colony.
royal, right. The royal colony were more controlled by the monarchy, right? While the Carter colony were more independent. So here we're still analyzing the period while colonies were happy. And they arrived there. Well, of course, their life was not too easy, especially the first years, but from the point of view of economics, they found a way. So what they were started to trade also with England. Well, what are their main sources of economics? That's a question. So what they were doing, what they found that we were a farmer? No, we were not farmer, but we were using what? What was abundant?
Lumbering.
What?
Lumbering.
Yes, yes. So we're using timber, that is worked wood, timber for building their home. For instance, in New England and most part of America, single family houses are made of timber. They are made of wood. This is something that is, well, to me, the first time I arrived, and I said, oh, how come? So, and they have a limited lasting time. So it's not just like here, you buy a house that can be old, I don't know, 200 years, and still there. It doesn't happen there. You'll have to renew it because it's made of wood. So I had to change it. So they use the timber to build their home, and also for building what in Boston?
Ships.
Ships, yes. And what was at the time, what was, apart from fish, okay? But why,
Whales.
yes, why is whales so important at the time? What did they use whales fat for? This is a general knowledge.
I'm not sure, but I do remember somewhere saying that the whale's fat can be used to craft ships, like to cover their so water won't get inside.
Right, like a protection. Yes, yes, but mainly so now I make you a question. Do you think the early colonies at that time, we're talking about more than 200 years ago, do you think they have electricity?
No.
No. Okay. How do they used to illuminate the nights?
They used whale's fat.
Yes, exactly. So it was fundamental. It was just like
It was used for candles.
yes,
Wax.
exactly. Yes, yes. Candles. Well, what they're using, like for heating, they were using like okay, wood. It's okay, but for candle, they're using like animal fat. Okay. In that case, a whale is a mammal. Is huge and it's got a lot of fat. So they were getting there. So now, up to now, the description of life of early colonies were quite happy, okay? So, but now, from the point of view of religion, okay? So, what happened to these people? They moved out from mainly England. Why?
Maybe because they wanted to be more free in terms of religion.
Yes, yes, because they were in New England. In England, were not allowed to freely process their own religion. It was going against that. So against the principle, and these people were called the Puritans. Okay, and we saw in the video, and the name comes from the purity. So what they were against was against the establishment of the Church of England, the Church of Rome, because they were saying that the Church has polluted like the real Bible teaching. So the Church of England, the Church in Rome were moving away from the real scripture, the real concept, and the real religion that is the basis of a religion. So they wanted to look for more a purity. Just read directly the New Testament and live according to religious teachings. Here, with Puritans, since they have, so they were away from England, they were over there. And these colonies were like living in a society, in a community. The new colonies were needed of a guidance, of a leader, okay? And in the new colonies, the leader was identified with the religious leader, which were Puritans. So the Puritans were controlling New England colonies, government, and life, social life, according to the rules of a Puritan. In fact, that was their goals. They moved out from Europe to build a better society. So they were thinking themselves as elected people of God. And they wanted to put in practice in real life the teaching of the Bible. Somehow, as we watch in the video, within the Puritans, they're very, very strict. Okay, so there were other people. We get this Roger Williams, who moved out from Rhode Island and from Massachusetts area and moved to Rhode Island, that is immediately south. But he was looking for a more freedom, a society not so strict by Puritan rules, and give more rights to the people. So what now we were gonna do is to read. So far, okay, you are okay with watching the video, okay? It was not too difficult. You understand everything was saying, yes? That okay?
Yes.
All right, okay, good. So here, okay, we get here Massachusetts at the time of Salem witch trial. But first of all, I would like you to read. Let's see if I can get to that reading. No, Benjamin Franklin. Okay. Maybe I have to close that. All right. Okay, Unit 2, Introduction to Salem Witch Trial. This is it. So what you watching? Moodle?
Moodle.
Moodle?
Yes, Moodle.
Okay. Introduction to Salem Witch Trials?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see now when it's opening. Maybe. No. Ah, I didn't know I could move that up. Why is not doing anything?
It's opened in documents.
Is it? What do you see?
No, I just tried it on my Moodle, and this file downloaded to my computer and opened in documents.
Okay, yes, but I'm not opening it in here.
It won't open in browser.
Why?
Because it cannot be open in browser, I guess. You can just go back to your home screen and maybe there.
Okay, let's see if I can see what. Oh, I see what you mean. It is a document here. It is here. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, I did myself. Download. It should open it.
No, it's not there.
Eh?
No, it's not there. You just have to come to your home menu. Close the Google.
Okay. Okay, so I close here. I close.
Not on red, on yellow one, or on the green one.
Wait. So I have to close.
A little bit higher. A little bit higher.
Okay.
Yeah, green, that not red, green. And now yellow.
Yellow. No, I don't have it.
Oh.
I usually download it free.
It's just if you want to open this file from the Google now, you cannot open it because, as the girl said before, that it open in documents. So you have to open the document file where all the documents is.
Okay. Do you have a document open?
Yes.
Yes.
On our computer.
Can you click and have it shown to everyone else?
Yes.
So you have to put video on, right? And then you have to do the same as I do, like sharing screen, yeah?
Yeah, I can do it.
Yes, okay. So what I'm struggling now is to get everyone, because we need to read that. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraph. And we're going to be reading about the Puritan New England. That is like as an introduction to Salem witch trial. In order to understand that, we need to understand how Puritans were like. So, but now, how can you now, since I share my screen, I have to stop sharing then. Ben, who has the document?
I have.
Okay, so would you be able to share the screen?
Yeah, am I sharing right now?
Has started the share screening, it says. Are you sharing from your computer or from your phone?
From my computer.
That's good.
Can you see my screen?
No, not yet. But I think you have to put like video on first.
I guess it's not needed for screen sharing.
You are not allowed to?
No, we are, but it's not like needed. It's not necessary.
It's not necessary.
Now,
Yeah, just.
Oh, it's not. Sorry.
I can try.
I guess something is wrong with the screen
Okay.
sharing.
I don't know why, but it opens the wrong screen.
Okay, right. Who made that? Okay, that's good. Who is it? Daniel?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, you see, it's not too long, but it's very concentrated, and we will. So now, Daniel, you were good. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candidates. So Daniel will start the first paragraph, and then by turn, who wants to volunteer and read, okay? All right, let's start. Puritan New England. Go ahead.
Can I read? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Puritan New England differed in many ways from both England and the rest of Europe. Protestants emphasized literacy so that everyone could read the Bible. This attitude was in stark contrast to that of Catholics who refused to tolerate private ownership of Bibles in the vernacular language. The Puritans placed a special emphasis on reading scripture, and their commitment to literacy led to the establishment of the first printing press in English America in 1636. 4 years later, in 1640, they published the first book in North America, the Babe Psalm book.
Psalm book. So what happened is here is that the Catholic were saying, okay, we are the owner of a Bible, okay, of the truth. So we are the only one who has education to read and interpret the Bible messages, the content of the Bible. While here, Protestant and Puritan were saying, no, we want to be able to read the Bible and get back to the real messages, not those filtered by the church, by the Catholics. So this is really, really important. In fact, here is underlined that the first book that was published in North America was a Babe Psalm book. So a book of Psalm from New Testament, from the Bible, okay? Next, someone else as Calvinists?
I can read.
Yeah.
As Calvinists, Puritans adhered to the doctrine of predestination, whereby a few elect would be saved and all others damned. No one could be sure whether they were predestined for salvation, but through introspection. Guided by Scripture, Puritans hoped to find a glimmer of redemptive grace. Church membership was restricted to those Puritans who were willing to provide a conversation narrative telling how they came to understand their spiritual estate by hearing sermons and studying the Bible.
So they say, okay, the only way to save yourself from damnation, okay, afterlife damnation, is what? Is to go back to the real scripture, to the real Bible, and respect and live by the rules of the Bibles, okay? So this is mainly what they're saying. So one more. Like many other Europeans.
I can read.
I can read that.
Okay.
Will you? Or
yes, go ahead.
Puritans believed in the supernatural. Every event.
It's loud, please, Sophia.
Like many other Europeans, the Puritans believed in the supernatural. Every event appeared to be a sign of God's mercy or judgment, and people believed that witches allied themselves with the devil to carry out evil deeds and deliberate harm such as the sickness of death of children, the loss of cattle, and other catastrophes.
Okay, now we have to imagine the life of these early colonies, okay? They arrived to America after a long journey, and the first one they're traveling on the famous ship, and it was called the Mayflower, which arrived in Plymouth, south of Boston. But then before that and after, many have arrived. So they arrived in a new country, completely, obscure, or was it like, of a danger. And so, having as a background these Puritan teachings, they were seeing like signs from weather, or like a thunderstorm, or the snow, or the cold, or the wind, everything like a sign of God. And they see also in that like the evil hand. So I've been doing something wrong, that's why evil send me that catastrophe. Okay, believing in this supernatural power, they also believe that witches, and they believe that women were more subject to be influenced by evil. Okay, so they were saying that the witches were ally of the devil, and they were ally with devil to carry out evil deeds. Okay, and make deliberate harm, sickness, death of children, loss of cattle, and other catastrophes. So they believe in witches. And here there's a main connection with the Salem witch trial. Okay, so we have hundreds here. Who wants to go on?
Yeah, I'll read.
Jenny? Yes?
Yeah. Hundreds were accused of witchcraft in Puritan New England, including townspeople whose habits or appearance bothered their neighbors or who appeared threatening for any reason. Women seen as more susceptible to the devil because of their supposedly weaker constitutions made up the vast majority of suspects and those who were executed.
Okay, right. So who wants to finish? The most notorious? Someone want to finish?
I can.
Okay, yes?
The most notorious witchcraft causes occurred in Salem village in 1692. Many of the accusers who prosecuted of the suspected witches had been traumatized by the Indian wars on the frontier and by unprecedented political and cultural changes in New England. Relying on their belief in witchcraft to help make sense of their changing world, Puritan authorities executed 19 people and caused the death of several others.
Okay, so this is what happened in Salem village in 1692. Okay. So a lot of people were, 19 people were hanged, but in general, it was a huge trial, and more than 100 people were put into jail, and it was really something that there was no justice. That's why it's so important. Even if I don't know if any of you will ended up studying law, American law or anything, but this New England Salem witch trial has marked a legacy of injustice. So many aspects of the judicial law now in America, they can be traced back to the injustice that it was made in Salem by the judges at the Salem trial, because they were executing people only, not having a fair and a correct trial, but only just on the accusation of other people that say, oh, she's a witch. She made my cow die, okay? And so she was hanged. That was the frenzy, but the craziness that was performed in Salem. But that was also showing the limit to control a community by the rule of Puritans. So religious has to be separated, religious power has to be separated from justice. Okay. So thank you, Daniel. I would like to get back to my, so you have to, okay, yes, thank you. So it's good that you can save my life. You can save my my class. Now, I don't know why it's not open it. What's wrong with me? Also that one. Do you think I have to enter again?
What do you mean?
Do you think I have to enter again?
Oh, you mean re-enter the
Yes.
conference?
Yeah.
No, you just need to press the green button, demonstrate your screen, and then all will be okay.
Which? The green one?
The green one, yes.
Directly in Zoom.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. Maybe your Zoom has another interface, but it's placed to the right from the chat button.
If I put the green one, it's not good for me. You know?
Why? You want to share screen?
Okay,
right?
okay. Now I understand. Now I understand. It was locked because I was. It won't let me download. That's the point. Okay. Let me have a look. Okay, it was locked. I don't know why the computer was locking me downloading it. Okay. So let's try to get back here. Mamma mia. Mamma mia. La 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 la. Okay. Na 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 na. Okay, now we watch another video that is talking about the Salem witch trials. Okay. This is quite simple and just to tell you what happened in very simple way. Okay. Let's see now if I can vai alla pagina. Okay, while you study in American and you study in Italian as well.
Битися з коханим на мечах незвично. На мечах під час романтичної фотосесії. Get a real-time bird's-eye view of your projects. Create project plans in one click. See the big picture.
The right video?
Let's go.
Have you experienced deja vu? It's that shadowy
I think you occasionally pressed.
One moment. I'm not sure if I'm watching the correct one.
Yeah, you occasionally play another video.
World moves.
Sorry?
You occasionally pressed to play another video.
Okay.
You can come back to that YouTube and press the return button on like to the left from the link
One moment. Okay. Maybe that one. If it's okay. Okay, this is it. Now I want to get, and then sharing, okay? Okay, I do now. Okay.
You've been accused of a crime you did not commit.
You watch the video?
It's impossible to prove your innocence.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're innocent anyway. You'll likely be found guilty and executed. But if you confess, apologize, and implicate others for good measure, you'll go free. Do you give a false confession?
Oh.
Or risk a public hanging? This was the choice facing those accused of witchcraft in the village of Salem, Massachusetts, between February 1692 and May 1693. They were the victims of paranoia about the supernatural, misdirected religious fervor, and a justice system that valued repentance over truth. Salem was settled in 1626 by Puritans, a group of English Protestants. Life was strict and isolated for the people of Salem. Battles with their Native American neighbors and groups of French settlers were commonplace. People feared starvation and disease, and relations between villagers were strained. To make matters worse, 1692 brought one of the coldest winters on record. That winter, two cousins, 9-year-old Betty Paris and 11-year-old Abigail Williams, started behaving very strangely. A physician found nothing physically wrong, but diagnosed the girls as under an evil hand. Puritans believed that the devil wreaked havoc in the world through human agents, or witches, who blighted nature, conjured fiendish apparitions, and tormented children. As news swept through the village, the symptoms appeared to spread. Accounts describe 12 so-called afflicted girls contorting their bodies, having fits and complaining of prickling skin. 4 of the girls soon accused 3 local women of tormenting them. All 3 of the accused were considered outsiders in some way. On February 29th, the authorities arrested Sarah Good, a poor pregnant mother of a young daughter, Sarah Osborne, who had long been absent from church and was suing the family of one of her accusers, and Tituba, an enslaved woman in Betty Paris's home known by her first name only. Tituba denied harming the girls at first, but then she confessed to practicing witchcraft on the devil's orders and charged Good and Osborne with having forced her. Osborne and Good both maintained their innocence. Osborne died in prison, while Good's husband turned against her in court, testifying that she was a witch or would be one very quickly. Good's 4-year-old daughter was imprisoned and eventually gave testimony against her mother. Meanwhile, Good gave birth in jail. Her baby died, and she was convicted and hanged shortly thereafter. Tituba was held in custody until May and then released. These 3 victims were just the beginning. As accusations multiplied, others, like Tituba, made false confession to save themselves. The authorities even reportedly told one accused witch that she would be hanged if she did not confess and freed if she did. They were not particularly interested in thoroughly investigating the charges. In keeping with their church's teachings, they preferred that the accused confessed, asked for forgiveness, and promised not to engage in more witchcraft. The court accepted all kinds of dubious evidence, including so-called spectral evidence, in which the girls began raving when supposedly touched by invisible ghosts. Complicating matters further, many of the jurors in the trials were relatives of the accusers, compromising their objectivity. Those who dared to speak out, such as Judge Nathaniel Saltonstall, came under suspicion. By the spring of 1693, over 100 people had been imprisoned, and 14 women and 6 men had been executed. By this time, accusations were starting to spread beyond Salem to neighboring communities, and even the most powerful figures were targets. When his own wife was accused, the governor of Massachusetts colony suspended the trials. Sentences were amended, prisoners released, and arrests stopped. Some have speculated that the girls were suffering from hallucinations caused by fungus, or a condition that caused swelling of the brain. But ultimately, the reason for their behavior is unknown. What we do know is that adults accepted wild accusations by children as hard evidence. Today, the Salem witch trials remain a cautionary tale of the dangers of groupthink and scapegoating and the power of fear to manipulate human perception. Weaponized accusations of witchcraft were around for millennia before reaching the village of Salem. Travel to the ancient city of Alexandria and follow the tragic story of Hypatia, a renowned scholar and political advisor.
Okay, so.
Well, I have a question. Can I answer?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, those questions. I heard that this Salem witch hunt was in Europe. It was in America, though.
Yes, we are talking here. Salem. It's a village that is in the north. I'll show you. It's in the north of Massachusetts. It's in Massachusetts.
Oh.
So we are talking America. Yes, yeah.
Didn't know about it.
One moment. I need to share the screen. Share the screen. Yeah, we were talking about not England, but New England. Okay, here, if I can. So Massachusetts, Salem is here on the coast, by the coast, exactly here. Here is Boston is here, is north, is Salem. If you happen to go there, you in that part of Massachusetts, there are a lot of open air museums which many Americans from all over United States, they travel there with the kids, with the children, to show them where United States was founded, like the root, to get back to their root. And also in Salem, you get like the picture, and you get the museum. I was there. The testimony, you get all through the story, interactive museum, like with a show, with a video like we watch. Because it's part of what we're doing now here in American culture. We're going through some aspect of American history and culture, which American students study at the school, at the high school. So it's part of a program of history to know how everything started, like the first colonies and Massachusetts, Plymouth, and also with Salem. What in Moodle I put, because I tend to download information from very reliable sources that I found online. For instance, there is a document on Moodle that is, I took it from Britannica online encyclopedia, and it's about the Salem witch trials, okay? And here, if you want to know, well, we could read it, but it's quite long. But it's part of a syllabus. It's something that you should read on your own. It's not too long. Maybe it's like 10 minutes reading. But it says exactly what happened and how it happened, and explain the whole process of many trials that these judges made against these people only by the accusation of just pointing the finger. She is a witch. There are like everything happened in history and in life, apparently, as we watch, we heard in the video, we listened, that they are saying that that year it was particularly bad. So we're getting back to that supernatural aspect of Puritans, okay? So it was very bad. Probably many cattle and cows were died because of a harsh weather. So this colony, this little village of Salem was haunted by a lot of catastrophe, right? And they're starting to find a scapegoat to these events to the activity of this group of witches. And then also there is a scientific and medical side interpretation of what happened. Probably these people had some mushrooms with have hallucination effect, or maybe some other unknown disease. We also have to think of these people arrived from England, and they arrived in a new country, and they're having probably they might have eaten some herbs, some plants which were not very edible, or maybe were getting poison out of that. So there are many things that are unknown. Somehow, at the end of a document that you find in is on Moodle, that is on Britannica, what is important, that's why I choose, apart from, like the general, let's say, oh, do you know about the Salem witch trial and so and so, just like if it happened, in your life, just a matter of general knowledge. But what is important is that these very unjust trials in Salem gives us the image of how American treat defeat generally. Okay, so that was that is an example of injustice. But American, like an attitude of American people, they always try to learn from mistakes. So that's why it's important, because they in this Salem witch trial made like the building blocks of for creating a better and a more fair and equal judicial system. In fact, contribute to change United States court procedures. So they will not condemn anyone on the basis of cross-examine. Means okay, I say you are guilty, and you say he is guilty, and then okay, he is guilty, that's it. So you need every time there is a trial, it needs to be supported by real and solid evidence. That didn't happen in Salem witch trial. It has a legacy of that. Let's see, okay. We have, so we read that. We had also here, the Crucible. This is in literature, was inspired by Salem witch trial in the 1900. It was Arthur Miller's, and he made a play, The Crucible. And it's exactly like recreating is a play in theater the story of the Salem witch trials. Okay, here we get what. Are you with me? Are you watching?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so here is a picture of a trial. Also, during the trial, people were just going into, like in a state of ecstasy. So it was a really a turmoil. Here we get people hanged. Okay, here Okay, in that time we had just get back to our religious movement. Apart from the Puritans, we have the Quakers. Do you know the Quakers? They're still there. If you go in Pennsylvania, they're still there. They come from more like origin, instead of being from America, from England, they are more from Germany, or they called France. And they were also persecuted for their beliefs, which they believe that God exists in every person. So every person is elected to be a part of God. So again, here we're talking about a setta, a group of people moving out from Protestant and seeking their own belief. Now Quakers, they live in a separate, like in very secluded villages. They're still there. The same as in the Amish. Again, you get them in Massachusetts, many in Pennsylvania, many in the north of state of New York. And these Amish are known for preferring a simple living, plain dress, and they don't like they don't have TV, they don't have a mobile phone. If you go to America, the back part of United States, you will be able to go and visit these settlements of the Amish or the Quaker. And you go there, you can buy, like they do, like really nice pies, and they live in a very simple way. They still go around with carriage and horses, and so it's just like you go and visit these people, and that is just like that the time didn't pass for them, because they don't have any TV. They have electricity and heating, but everything else is not there. So it is interesting to visit. Okay, now so just to finish off with New England trials, the quiz of New England trial of Unit 2 is based on Salem witch trial. So the quiz consists, it's a passage. It's like a summary of what happened in Salem Village, and you have to fill in the blanks. So you have blank space, and you get words to insert in the text. So it's not difficult, but it is important for you to do this quiz, so you will fix in your memory all this information, okay? Okay.
Okay, but where is the quiz, by the way?
The quiz is, so let me have a look. Oh, maybe, well, I just tell you. So you have to start to be familiar the way I organize the unit. So in the unit, as soon as we finish, right on the top, I put the recorded video on YouTube of the class, okay? And then scroll down, you get all the documents. You get my PowerPoint, the one that we're watching now, and then you get all the documents. For instance, you get the documents from Britannica Online Encyclopedia, and then you get the video, you get everything. So right at the end, you get a quiz unit 2. Okay, so you enter that, and then right on the left side on top, you click and you download the document. So I think you can copy it on a document, on a Word document, and then you can complete it online. Okay, and once
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. We have to do it now or
No. This is a home. This is a quiz.
Ah,
All the quizzes that you get is like a working. It's your workload. For instance, today you should read the Salem Witch Trial Encyclopedia, which is fundamental to complete and to understand the test, because the test is like a summary of a document. So if you read the whole document, and then you can do the test, the quiz.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
What about previous quiz? What is the deadline for it?
I haven't. Well, I don't know. I have to decide. Well, the course is made in order, to move forward. Okay, so you complete unit 1 and you do the quiz. You complete unit 2 and you do the quiz. Okay, that's the way to study and to proceed. Yes, to complete the course. So it is fundamental to do it, apart from the fact that you get to 20, you make 20 or 40 points.
Yeah, but I was just I was connected to Moodle only yesterday, and
yes, I will not. Well, last semester, since it was the class was once a week, I kind of like a closing, so you cannot submit anymore. So, for instance, today you should not be able to submit unit 1, but since there is only one day between Wednesday and Friday, I'm good. I will let you have more times.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Also because I know you may have problems, so you will see. If there is a deadline on Moodle, you will get to know it, because it will you'll have like a red highlighted data, which means that is a deadline. Which means that I put a deadline for that document. Okay. So now Benjamin Franklin. We have also a biography, and I would like to read it with you. So we can watch it here. So generally, he was a genius. He was, he was the best. Benjamin, there's N, M is not N, there is a typo here. He was a diplomat, a philosopher, a writer, an inventor, a politician, a scientist. So he invented glasses, spectacle glasses, bifocal, you see? So the lower part is for reading and the upper part is from watch from a distance. So he invented, this is a kind of harmonica, is called. It's like a small version of a piano. He invented the stove. It's kind of like central heating. Before, people were heating themselves with like a fireplace or with a fire. Just in if you see very rural home made of stones, and then they have in the middle a fire. While he invented the stove, it was made of metal. So he was thinking, okay, if we put the fire like confined inside a metal structure, and then we put like a pipe on top to get the fume out. So he had the perception on how things were supposed to do. He was a genius. He invented also the lightning rod. The lightning rod, so we have to get back to how houses were built in New England. We were saying they were made of wood, okay? So one of the threats of the problem that the New England colonists were facing every day was the danger of a thunder, of a lightning that could hit their homes and burn. So fire problem. So he invented. He was a very keen observer of nature, and he was a genius. So he noticed that if you put a wood stick with a metal on top, that metal will attract the lightning and will concentrate the lightning there, which will discharge into the ground, directly in the ground, bypassing the home. So you put the lightning rod on top of your home and you connect it to the ground, your house will not be burned by a lightning when it is a thunderstorm. Okay, now what I want to do now is, let's see. No, I don't want. I wanted to get into. Why I'm so confused today. I want to get to Moodle. So if I go to Moodle, ask, where is my Moodle? Here. Okay, let's see if I can find my Moodle. I just have to do ask. It's not doing it. I think I need to enter again. Not here.
Sorry, will we have a break?
Okay. All right, that's good. That's good. That's very good idea because I need to get organized with my Moodle and everything. Okay. Okay, take care. Maybe 10 minutes. I usually, if that's the right time, I usually give 10 minutes of break around this time. We'll get back around 11 o'clock.
10 minutes till 11 o'clock, yeah?
11 o'clock. Have a good break.
Okay.
A good break.
Okay.
Hello. It happened that when I've got 2 laptops. Is anyone there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Just like chit chat. One is Dell and one is Mac, okay? The Dell one is older, very old. And the camera, actually the camera is working there, but the sound is not. So I cannot use the Dell for my class. So I need to get back to Mac. And that's a problem with Mac. So it's kind of like if I'm using Mac all the time, I kind of like understand, I can manage, I'm quite fast with that. But it's like when I switch and I work with Dell, that to me is a lot more user friendly. I don't understand how Mac works anymore. Well, I don't know. Maybe do you have any problem, a similar problem with computers?
It's a bit confusing,
What?
especially when you use both of them, like Mac and Windows. Like if you use both of them, it's confusing.
Yeah, because they have different different commands, different way of thinking. It's kind of like so if you use Mac, you have to use Mac all the time. It's kind of
I think Mac is more like smart, and
it's more
for
difficult.
me it's more comfortable to use Mac. But the problem was like for me is that it didn't have the applications like Microsoft Word and so on and so forth, and it was I needed them, and I didn't have Windows.
Right. Yes, you have to.
Now when I installed all the applications I needed, the Mac is like
Yeah, you
for
basically
me is
do.
for 100% is better than Windows.
You need to, or I used to have Windows for Mac. It's an application that you buy and you download the program. So if you have that, you have both.
Yes, but it's a little bit complicated because it takes your memory from your Mac.
Aha, yes. Yeah, of course. It's just like you have 2 drives. Yeah, it's true.
And it also like I have one of the newest Macs, and I tried to install Windows like an application,
Yes.
and it worked good, but not as well as some Mac OS worked. I
Yes.
mean, I couldn't run some applications.
Yes. Yeah, that's a point. Yes, that's a point. Yes. And also like a copy and paste is different. You have to do, yeah, like no, I don't know if you can use it Control C and Control V. I don't know.
No, it's on Mac it's Command, and on Windows it's Control.
Yeah, it's different. And then here I have it in Italian as well. So, and then so it was. I think is that my husband was using it. So it's like the Mac absorb the user habits. I don't know how to explain. It gets very personal. It gets with you. It grows with you. I think that he was working on it, and I think because after a while that you are repeating the same procedures, is like the Mac is copied, is do it on its own. It has like an intelligence behind.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. While with Windows, with Microsoft, I think you get more control of the system with Microsoft. You just like the very computer, and that's me. Okay. All right. Now we have to read Life of Benjamin Franklin. Okay, quickly. Okay, who wants to read? So now I'm telling you, we're doing that. Then we're doing Benjamin Franklin aphorisms. An aphorism is a saying. It's like it's a saying that he invented, and they're quite important, a part of a American life. That is, we have to work like a class activity with that, and then we're done. Okay, so I think we're gonna be finished by 11:30 if you're working fast. Okay, so
Can I read?
yes, someone volunteering.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Daniel.
Yeah.
But where should I start reading?
Oh
From
yeah, Benjamin Franklin is the best known as one of the founding fathers.
okay.
Yeah.
Benjamin Franklin is best known as one of the founding fathers who drafted the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. Who was Benjamin Franklin? Benjamin Franklin, born on January 17, 1706, and died on April 17, 1790, was a founding father and a polymath, inventor, scientist, printer, politician, Freemason, and diplomat. Franklin helped to draft the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution, and he negotiated the 1783 Treaty of Paris ending the Revolutionary War. His scientific pursuits included investigations into electricity, mathematics, and mapmaking. A writer known for his wit and wisdom, Franklin also published Poor Richard's Almanac, invented bifocal glasses, and organized the first successful American lending library.
Oh, okay. So he invented the library. Okay. Yeah, he was probably people had a lot of books, but he kind of like organized how like a borrow and lending system works in the library. So well, he traveled a lot. He was fluent in French. And he but negotiate. That's why he was a diplomat. So the Treaty of Paris put an end to the Revolutionary War that I was called, or the Independent War. Okay. So it was when then the 13 colonies declared the independence from Great Britain. Okay, so then he worked also to write the U.S. Constitution. So these are the main documents of the United States, which are kept on Capitol Hill. I think everyone, we saw the recent terrible action of these white people getting hold of the Capitol Hill in Washington. And when we ask yourself, we say, how can it happen? There, under the dome, under the cupola, the dome, the big one, in that special area, there are kept the original document of a Declaration of Independence and U.S. constitutions. And this is like an open air museum. So children, school trips from all over the United States, they go there. So it's like when you go to St. Peter and you enter St. Peter. It's like a sacred place. And it was not guarded as we're supposed to. We imagine it should have been, because it is the symbol of American freedom. So the symbol of American freedom can be guarded. It cannot be under key. It has to be open to everyone who wants to have a look. So this is maybe this is my interpretation, and that is how it was a symbol that it happened, that these people got inside the Capitol Hill. So what Franklin Benjamin, he was apart from being a genius, he was very witty, he was intelligent, he was a writer, and he published an almanac, Poor Richard. He invented Poor Richard. It was another name that he gave himself. And it was an almanac. An almanac is a monthly, no, it's an annual publication that was very important. The people used to read it. It was just like a newspaper, but issued every year. And it get inside this publication many informations about when to crop things, when to collect crops, a lot of information about the weather. But he was not himself writing and signing Benjamin Franklin, but he used this alias name, Poor Richard. So let's go on. And who wants to go on? Benjamin Franklin's inventions and discoveries. Wants to go on? Who is there? Hello, hello. Who wants to read?
I can.
Okay.
Benjamin Franklin was a prolific inventor and scientist who was responsible for the following inventions. Franklin's stove, Franklin's first invention, created around 1740, provided more heat with less fuel.
Okay, we saw it, okay? Yeah, we saw it, Franklin's stove. Bifocals.
Bifocals, anyone tired of switching between two pairs of glasses understands why Franklin developed bifocals that could be used for both distance and reading.
We saw it, right? With like two lenses stick together in one glasses. So invented also
harmonica. Franklin's inventions took on a musical bent when in 1761 he commenced development on the harmonica, a musical instrument composed of spinning glass balls on a shaft. Both Ludwig van Beethoven and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart composed music for this strange instrument.
Okay. So he invented also rocking chair, the one that you go back and forth. Flexible catheter is is used in medicine. And then American penny. Okay, so but it's also here just to finish off. You want to finish off reading? There's not much left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Franklin also discovered the Gulf Stream after his return trip across the Atlantic Ocean from London in 1775. He began to speculate about why the westbound trip always took longer, and his measurements of ocean temperatures led to his discovery of the existence of the Gulf Stream. This knowledge served to cut 2 weeks of the previous sailing time from Europe to North America.
Okay, so the people now, sailor and ship, since he discovered this Gulf Stream, were traveling faster, okay, because we're using this the push of this stream to go faster. So what he did, he noticed that, and also he he discovered that there was a different, he measured the temperature of the ocean and discovered that there was a different temperature, and that temperature made these Gulf streams. We still use it. This Gulf stream start from the Gulf of Mexico and then goes across the Atlantic Ocean and reaches like the island of Ireland and England. That's why if you check on the map, so those countries should have very cold, colder weather, just like here, just like Moscow. But they don't get so much cold and ice because they are attached. The ocean is covered by the Gulf Stream, because the Gulf Stream is a warmer water. Okay, so now we have a Poor Richer. So Poor Richer is this character created by Benjamin Franklin. Okay, who wants to finish off?
I can read that.
Yes.
Poor Richard's Alembic. Poor Richard, unschooled but experienced homespun philosopher, a character created by the American writer and statesman Benjamin Franklin, and used as his pen name for the annual Poor Richard's Almanac, edited by Franklin from 1732 to 1757.
So it means every year there was an issue of his Poor Richard's Almanac, okay?
Mm-hmm. Although the Poor Richard's of the early almanacs was a dim-witted and foolish astronomer, he was soon replaced by Franklin's famous Poor Richard, a country dweller, dutifully pious, quiet, and rather dull, who is a rich source of prudent and witty aphorisms on the value of thrift, hard work, and the simple life. Among his practical proverbs are God helps those who help themselves, and early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
And wise, yes, right, yes. So, yeah, we still have, okay. Okay, Benjamin Franklin. Who wants to finish? One more? Volunteering? What is a Caterina?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, do you wanna have you read already or not?
No, I haven't read.
Yes, oh come on, finish off.
Where we stopped?
Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
Was
Benjamin Franklin. I see. Benjamin Franklin, 1706 and 1790, was a major figure of his time. He was known chiefly as
mainly, yes.
Mm-hmm. As statesman, international diplomat, and writer, but was also a celebrated scientist, inventor, and businessman. His life summed up the spirit of his age. He devoted his energy and reason to a combination of statecraft, effective management, and technical invention. His utopian vision was both ambitious and realistic. His ideas rooted in his belief in reason and democratic freedom. Franklin was at the heart of the American struggle for independence from the British rule. His original vision was the colonies should become a part of greater union with Britain, and that all people should be equal.
So that's good. So basically, what he was a philosopher, and he's a visual of life of the world. It's on the basis of the Declaration of Independence and also on the U.S. Constitution. Okay, so that every man should be equal, and so and so and so. Okay, now what I need, I want to finish that. Let's see. No. Desideri conservare? No, annullo. Okay. I want to finish that. But no, this is again, this is okay, yes. So this is, I put it down. I don't want it anymore. Here, what are you watching now? Nothing. Stop sharing. Now we get back to my PowerPoint. Okay. Let's see. So here we get, so you're watching Poor Richard's Almanac, okay? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the original cover. So we're here explaining what is an almanac. It's an annual publication that contains a wealth, allotments of information about the forthcoming year. Weather prediction, best dates for planting crops, dates for eclipses, because he was an astronomer as well. So the very important thing for sailor was the times of tides. So when there was high tide, a low tide. And then for farmers, it was important for planting dates. And this piece of information found on the almanac. So the almanac may also contain what records, population statistics, recipes, religious feasts, holiday information, and even prediction about trends in technology and fashion. So there was everything. It was, if you don't read the Poor Richard Almanac, you are not part of the world, part of the United States. So the etymology, so means how this, where does this word come from? So it derives from the Greek word almenikeia, which means a calendar. Another theory is that the word almanac comes from an Arabic word almanac, means climate. Okay. All right. Now I will put it down on the general, on Moodle, right on the top. I will put like the homework. So I will make available on Unit 3 the link to read The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow is a short story, very interesting. It's about 30 pages. It's good to read. I like the description of the country, the usage of the words. It is a really important piece of literature. And I can tell every single student in America have read the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. So it just so here we are imagining just to concentrating in our course everything that a student study in American school. So this is a part of American literature. So please read it for next time. I will put it anyway on top. So I will like put homework. Please read The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, okay? And I will open up where you find it on Unit 3, because next time. Now what I want to do, let's see. We are basically done. We have no, don't want that. Here, if I go back here, well, I have to enter it in Google again. Okay, now Stop sharing. I put sharing. What you see?
Moodle.
Okay, okay. Then I will put here, okay? General, I will put the homework, reading The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, okay?
Okay.
Okay, now we have a little task that is a class activity. You'll not be graded for that. It's just like a practice, a task, but we do it together. So I wanted to open up this Poor Richard aphorism. So here is a list of 15 aphorisms by Poor Richards, alias Benjamin Franklin. Please insert the missing words listed below. You have 5 minutes to complete the task. So class activities are not graded, but still good practice for your preparation, okay? Now, let's see if I can open it for you. So you can either work from here or from your computer. Okay, I try to show now here also the bottom. Okay.
I'm sorry, Christina, we need to read it or just to write the correct answer and upload?
Yes, what now you have a 5 minutes, you go through the aphorism and you have to complete where you get all the dots. You have to complete it with the words down here, okay? You can write on it, you can just go through and remember it, but then we will have, so we have 15 and 3 or 4 each, maybe 2, a couple of them, we correct it together by each of you, okay? So I will say volunteering, okay, who wants to do the first one, and so and so and so, and we correct it together. So you read it, you find the words that are here on the bottom, and you can write, if you can write it, or you just make a note on a separate paper, like sentence 1. So the missing word is, and you write it down. So once we correct it together, you know the answer. Yes? Okay?
Okay.
So 5 minutes.
I'm sorry, Christina, we still have time?
Yes, yes. Well, 5 minutes have just passed by, but it's okay.
2 more, just.
Okay, no problem. I know they're not easy.
Sorry, I have a question
Yes.
about point 2.
Okay.
May I ask? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I think that they will the world that missed is early, but there is no this world in the bold.
But there is a he uses a synonymous of it. That is
okay, thank you.
that is haste.
I think we have done it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Did you get most of them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So you can see like Berio, well, you say early to bed, but here use the word haste. Haste means to go fast. Okay. Of course, we're thinking about that he lived in 18.
I'm also done.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead. Yes. Yes, please. What you say?
May I start?
You can read?
Yes, okay, yeah.
Can I?
Yes, go ahead. Yes.
The poor have little, because none, the rich too much, not enough, not one.
Okay, so means that.
Okay, maybe next.
Yes, no one is ever happy with money, okay? Even if they're very rich, have too much. So it's like a saying that according to like wealth, there is no justice, and everyone is never happy with it. Okay, number 2.
Okay, so second is haste to bed, haste to rise, make a man healthy, wealthy, and wise.
And wise. So wealthy means rich, okay, and intelligent.
Yeah, but in originally it's early.
Early, yes,
it?
yes, I know.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
May I?
Yeah.
He that lies down with dogs Shall rise up with fleas.
Okay, so means what, this one? Is a symbol, okay?
Yes.
It's a symbol that they're saying what? According to the friends that you use to go out, so if you're going out with good company, you don't get the fleas, okay? If you go out with a bad company, then you have to pay the consequences. Yes, do you agree with me?
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Number 4.
I can do it.
We can do it like more times than only once.
Yes. Just like
Okay, so
organized, one each.
may I will be next.
Okay, I would like to have everyone having some.
Okay, I can do the force.
Okay, so 4, number 4.
Okay. Beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship.
Okay, so this is a good piece of advice. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in America. Listen, when I was in America, and there is a lot of, well, especially shopping is so amazing. And then at the end of the month, I was kind of like saying, "Oh, I'm not spending, just limit myself." But every day I was spending like 10, 20, $30, and then at the end I said, "Oh, all my money going." So it is exactly what Benjamin Franklin is saying. Okay, yeah, please go for number 5.
Don't throw stone at your neighbor if your own windows are glass.
Are made of glass. Yes, good, yes. So beware, okay? Number 6.
No gains without pains.
Without pain. That is really true. The same
Yes.
here. If the same works with if you want to study, to gain a diploma, okay, to have a good career, you have to work hard. Number 7.
He that cannot obey cannot command.
That is really true, okay? So you have to respect the rules. You first have to stick to the rules, and then you can have those rules respected and be a command. The same, I remember, car makers, Italian car makers, Fiat, now they make
Yeah.
a joint venture with,
Yes.
yes, with Jeep. Now the Jeep that you see around are made by a joint venture with Fiat. And Fiat used to be just like Ford in America. It used to be owned by one person, by one family, very, very rich. And their name is Agnelli, the last name. And the son of the father of the head of the whole industry used to send his sons working in the assembly line, working in the factory. Okay? So that was a way for him to get hands-on people living there, and how a car is built, not to be too detached, like having the command, like the ruling class ruling, and here working class. So he wanted their sons to be in the working class and know and live just like a worker. So that was good. So number 8.
When the well is dry, we know the worth of water.
Okay, yeah, that's very true. But it works for everything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like while we have something, like for instance, we have electricity, okay, we have heating, and we don't really pay attention to that. But once we don't have it, Yeah, so we know the real value of it. Okay, number 9.
God helps them that helps themselves.
Okay, so that it says, okay, I believe, I got faith in God, but if I don't help myself, God will not help me. Okay, so I don't have a job. Oh, I'm out of work. Oh my God, how can I do? That is like a despair. Okay, and then why, God, help me, please. But if you go and help yourself, start to do things, send out curriculum, trying to go through, web pages, made application, that's the way. And then God will help you. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, number 10.
Okay, so teach your child to hold his tongue. He
Yes,
will learn fast enough to speak.
Okay, all right. So that is like you have to teach your child to hold, not to speak, okay? But in this way, he will learn faster to speak. Because he makes a difference between using the tongue, the actual capacity, ability of speaking, and that is not the same as speaking with making sense. Okay. Yeah. He's a philosopher. Number 11.
Fish and visitors stink in 3 days.
Okay, that's true. Number 12.
Blessed is he that expects nothing, for he shall never be disappointed.
Okay, so that's again, I really believe in it. You don't say, so the rule is not to give too much expectation from something, because otherwise you will be disappointed. Okay.
The next one.
Yes.
Haste make waste.
Okay, so here is also a game of words, okay? So it says that sometimes to go fast is not so good. So going fast, it could be a waste, it could be bad, it could be represent a negative aspect, okay? So everything that you do needs a time, a proper time to do it properly. Okay, if you go fast, maybe you miss something. Maybe you're cooking something and you forgot to put the salt in it. Okay, number 14.
Men and melons are hard to know.
Yes, so this is a comparison, okay, between men and melons. And it's true. Can you buy a good melon? It's hard, right? You don't know how
You
it's.
never know. You never know.
You never.
Yeah.
Know. Okay, so
it's by luck.
Yes, yeah. So you see how Benjamin Franklin reflects like the simple way Americans think. So they built their empire, their country onto these basic but fundamental rules. So we get number 15, the last one.
God heals and the doctors take the fees.
All right. It's true. Because sometimes he's saying that sometimes our diseases are also psychological. I've got a psychological origin, which the doctor sometimes you go to the doctor, you have a big pain, oh my God, and then this pain disappear when you go and visit the doctor. So it means that is psychological, right? So it's a pain, it's a disease that God can heal it. Okay, all right, we are done. Very well. So I will put all the
Yeah.
All the homework on the general, right on top. I will remind you to read the Sleepy Hollow for next time. And for this time, read this Britannica, Salem witch trial. And then you can do, so before open up and do the quiz, you better read the Britannica. Once you read the Britannica, you're ready to pass the quiz, okay? It's not difficult.
Yeah, okay.
All right? Okay.
Yeah.
Next time I'm gonna be better with my computer.
So in next time we will meet at
Wednesday.
10.
Wednesday we will do unit 3.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for
All
your
right,
chat.
thank you.
Have a beautiful
Bye.
day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye bye. Bye.
Have a good
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
Oh, I have to stop recording.